Good morning and welcome everyone. Can you hear me okay? Uh,
Yeah, we
all
can
right.
we can hear you. You can start.
Okay, to the sixth episode of our podcast series. As we spoke earlier, everyone, this week onwards, we are doing podcasts from the field. As we speak, you can hear the background of airport noises behind me. Shiv is in Hyderabad. I am in Delhi on my way to Pune. In Delhi, we met a couple of channel partners, and it is so exciting to see their journey and engagement with our end customers. Thanks for all the effort and support, and we will keep coming back to you to empower you to deal better with the customers and kind of your end client base. Today, as we speak, we'll be talking about another product which we haven't discussed on the podcast, which is Skedulomatic. It's a tool enabling optimal efficiency of the field force. Our GIS-enabled systems provide real-time locations, travel, time information, and about all the members of the field force. So it'll be pretty interesting. We will talk about a bit more and in details on this podcast. Today's speakers for this episode, you know by now, I don't need much introduction, but Jaswinder Singh, our country head, Shiv Kiran, who is our director for product management globally. In this episode, we will do talk about major wins of the last week, as we do always, and as well as followed by Skedulomatic. With this, I would request Jaswinder to come in and talk about our big wins for the last week. Jaswinder?
Thank you, Tarun. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Learning and Earning podcast session powered by Sovereign. Let me walk you through the two of the use cases which we have done, which we have closed last week. And one of the client is from a hospitality business. They have 700 coffee machines. You've seen corporate. There are machines which has been installed. These machines have been installed by the third party. So that's how this client has 700 coffee machine and a staff of 1300. And the basic purpose of meeting me today morning with him, I'm also in market. You can see the background of mine also. I'm in market and just met that client, and they have given a green signal. This is our third meeting with him. We were approaching him for the channel partner, but basically they require a product for their business, just Kilomatic product, where they want to assign a task to the team. They have 1,300 staff, which is been recruited to various corporate SMEs. And daily the task has, and they work on the rotation basis. It's not the one staff which is stick to one corporate. It will keep on going to that corporate. No, they keep on rotating it so that they should not get any sort of mischief they do. Or this is their psychology. They said, I need a product where I can assign a task if in Mr. A or Mr. B has to go to a sham corporate. So then he can assign a task one day prior to the person would be knowing that this is a corporate which I have to go for the duty. Similarly, the material requisition for the coffee machine a one day prior, because the person who is over there, he will check the material what is required, and he give a requisition to the to the staff to the head office. This is the requirement of would be for that coffee machine for there. So one day prior, the requisition is sent by the staff and has been fulfilled, and using our product, they will be sending a requisition and the requirement of that for that coffee machine to the corporate. And this is how. And third thing which they would be using for it, likewise, the staff which has been provided by the company, they have to do the cleaning part. They have to they have to do the cleaning part. They have to take care of other things also into that. With our product itself, they will be clicking the pictures and the staff over there, the admin staff has to sign that this the work has been done by the particular staff over there. And the second, the client which we have closed, they are into industrial packaging. There are two set of movers and packer. One is related to household, which we use it, and when we have to do when we move our household goods from one place to another. Other is the industrial packer mover. What they do, what the product which is a high ticket size product which has been manufactured by the client. The third party who take care of movement of those products from A place to B place. So there's a client who has approached us, and they have happily bought up. Last week we have closed them. They happily bought a product from us, and they will be using a Skedulomatic product to assigning their entire team where they have to, which corporate they have to, which industry they have to visit, and with this they will be chasing their team. They can track their team the real time basis, the time that task assigned, and the delivery of the task. They can see the entire thing on the map itself. These are the two closures which we have done, and I hand over to Shiv to continue with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jaswinder and Tarun, for setting it up. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. So I'll start with as always, in terms of, like, what did we do in the earlier sessions. So as Tarun has explained, today we are going to talk about the new product Skedulomatic. Jaswinder has already shared two very interesting case studies about or customers whom we signed up last week, both related to the Skedulomatic product. So I wanted to start with a quick recap in terms of the Intellomatic data collector application. What did we learn in the last five podcasts? So a quick summary of that you can basically get if you go through. In the interest of time, I will not go through on a feature by feature basis. However, all these features and the case studies we had discussed it in the earlier podcast, and I would request you to go through those podcasts to know more about about the feature, and also about the case study in terms of which customer, which industry, and how they benefited out of this particular feature. Doing the same thing for the Growmatic network management tool. So again, we are talking about 15 features over here, which we discussed in during the earlier podcast, and you can get to see the summary of all those features over here. And in detail, you can go through the earlier videos to know more about any of these features. And you can always write to us, you can email to us, you can reach out to your respective relationship manager in case you have if you wish to know anything more about your customers or about use case in your industry that you are trying to approach. Now coming to today's the new product that we would like to talk about. It is called as a Skedulomatic application, or the Skedulomatic Field Force Management System. What does it do? You can understand this product in three broad categories. It helps you to manage your business. How does it do that? It can manage the schedules of your field workforce, and it can also manage your entire customer information. And the way our customers are using this is in terms of attendance tracking, in terms of travel claims, in terms of um, uh, uh, replicating their entire offline business on the system actually. And this can happen overnight. So no need in terms of managing this entire process on Excel sheets, or on Word documents, or even on WhatsApp. So as I had shared earlier, in our earlier podcast also, the whole idea over here is that how we can make your business more efficient, or how your team can be far more productive in terms of their usage of time. The second key feature that we are talking over here is engagement. How do we do that? We basically empower the frontline workers, and through our mobile application, the application is available both on Android or on iPhone. There is also a manager application that's there. If someone is not able to access it on the desktop, they can basically see the same thing on as a manager logging into the mobile application. The third thing that this product essentially does is analyze. It helps you to analyze your business. There are dashboards, there are reports, there are different tools that are available which can basically help you to take better business decisions. So the whole idea over here is it's a no frills. It's easy to customize. You can bring your entire business overnight onto our system, and it's ready to launch. The desktop interface looks something like this. On the left side, you can clearly see like all the different tabs that are there to basically track your workforce, to understand what is the status of each of their jobs, to manage your workforce through like using a worker management tool, or you can manage your entire customer base, or bring in like map layers. The important thing over here is, as soon as a job is basically created on the desktop system and is assigned to a field executive, immediately on the mobile, on the Skedulomatic mobile application, the field person is able to see like a job for this particular customer has been assigned. And now, if I'm the field worker, I have the option of basically clicking on it and doing my process actually. uh, how this product has been useful. We had this interesting case study. I mean, we walked into this customer's office, and we looked at the number of files or the amount of paperwork that this particular customer was managing just to service one job for one customer in one day. And it was so much unproductive in terms of the amount of paperwork. It was also unproductive in terms of the workers or the field staff actually coming to the office on a daily basis and understanding from them what jobs they are supposed to do, and then starting their day. And that was leading to a very inefficient and unproductive kind of an environment actually. And our product, the Skedulomatic product, could basically do away with all these things overnight. So the customer could see the benefit from day one in terms of not duplicating the process that is already being done by like one person in the team, and also avoiding any kind of paperwork while they're managing their process much more efficiently. So that's the biggest benefit that anyone could get, and this is like overnight. The second thing, the second feature that I wanted to talk about today is a workflow for job status. Every job that is created, it gets assigned to a field staff. Then the field staff actually they start the job. Then they can even say I have reached the particular location. They can say that now I'm I have reached this particular location and now I'm starting the job, and then they can complete the job. In case the customer is not over there, or the field staff realizes that on account of certain spare part not being available, I'm not in a position to complete this particular job, then the field staff also has the option of canceling the job and then moving on to the next job actually. So this entire workflow is kind of created on our system. One very important thing is, if we have these kind of use cases also where organizations have said that, what, the process of creating a job, the process of scheduling a job, these kind of things are already being done. We have got tools to do it. Is there a way that our system can actually be integrated with your system so that it can be represented and we can take the workflow uh, 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 to the job completion in your system? So we have done those kind of use cases also, where the customer's existing system has been seamlessly integrated with our Skedulomatic product, and then the customer is able to get a one view to their entire system. This particular workflow, we have this case of an air conditioning maintenance services company. The manager, they basically were sitting in the head office, and they wanted to understand remotely that what is the status of each of these jobs. They were doing close to about 50 jobs in a day. They had close to 10 workers to manage, and it was becoming extremely difficult to know. And they were getting a lot of customer issues. Like, customer would call them up and ask them, okay, has your workman actually started? Is he coming to my place? What's the status? And the manager had no clue actually on how to reply to these kind of queries. But the Skedulomatic mobile application could solve this problem overnight. And that's another big benefit that that this particular company got by using our product. A third feature that we have got is, many times it happens, and this is extremely frustrating, that the field staff goes. There is a particular address that has been given. There is a particular location that has been given. The field staff lands over there, and then he realizes that, what, the location is incorrect. It is not this street, but it is the street behind actually. It is not this house. It is the house which is 10 blocks away. and that leads to a lot of frustration. It is highly unproductive for the field staff who is on the move, actually. So we have got this feature where as soon as the field staff actually reaches, the workman actually reaches the customer place, they can use this pen over here. If you're following my mouse, they can use the edit button over here, and then like they can move the map, and they can essentially say that this is the location which is the exact customer address, and the earlier location that was there was incorrect, and then they click on save, and the customer location essentially gets saved over here. And next time, let's say this is an annual maintenance contract kind of a situation, we need to make like 4 or 5 visits during the year. The first time, once this has been corrected, the second time, like, we don't have to do this process again, because the new customer location has actually been edited and stored in the system. This particular feature has been used to great advantage by this a workshop on wheels vehicle servicing company. I mean, they are like a mobile, they have a fleet of mobile service vans, and they go to the customer's place to basically service their vehicles at the so it is on site, on premise of the customer, where the service is being given. And they were losing out a lot of time, a lot of cost in terms of, like, the fuel spends and all that, because the customer location was incorrect. And through using this particular, what it has resulted in is a much higher productivity at a lower cost, and that's basically our product promise. Anything that we do, you have to look at it from a lens of whether it is helping the customer from a perspective of, like, increasing their revenue, reducing their cost, and finally, like, expanding their profits. And in this case, the Skedulomatic product could actually showcase how we help this customer in terms of reducing their cost. So many times we have seen, like, we are, I mean, if I'm a manager managing my field force, I'm like kind of playing blind. I don't know exactly whether my workman is today on duty, whether the workman is on the move, whether the workman is busy right now. But the Skedulomatic mobile application, this particular thing, like, it can be done immediately. As soon as the field staff or the customer actually migrates to our system, they can, like, what is the status of my workman, who is available, who is busy, who is like, who is currently unavailable. And the manager sitting in the office, they have the option of, like, let's say there is a job which has come up, it's like an emergency job, and they need to know, like, who is the nearest worker who can be rushed to this particular job. They just need to use this particular tool, draw a radius, like, in a 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 5 kilometer, whatever radius, and then they can do a geospatial query on the map, asking for, like, tell me who are the workers who are live right now, who are available right now, to whom this particular job can be given, and the job can be assigned to this worker, and the worker can immediately be rushed to address this emergency. We have this use case of a healthcare company who is using this feature extensively to ensure that in the event of some kind of an emergency for their customers, for their subscribers, they are able to kind of rush the nearest worker to this particular customer and address this emergency requirement that's there. So this is a very important feature which companies are finding it useful. Moving on to the next feature, which is the asset the asset management feature. The Skedulomatic mobile application also doubles up as a tool. Jaswinder basically spoke about this particular use case, about which we signed up like, the company last week, where we are talking about coffee machines. Let's say this particular company has 2 different coffee machines, and our company is supposed to manage or maintain these 2 different coffee machines. But the information that is made available is only for one coffee machine in this office. And when the workman actually goes over there, he or she notices that, what, there are like 2 coffee machines over here. They can use this particular feature. They can add, using the create asset feature, they can add the second coffee machine actually, and gather all the details and straight away create it. And now the details of the second asset, the second coffee machine, also are available. And like, the company can now take decisions on the basis of like, okay, so how many coffee machines located in each of these premises, and uh, what is the action that is required to be taken. So this is a really important feature. How this particular feature has been used, we have this case of a maintenance service company, who are providing annual maintenance contract. They were taking over all the engineering assets in a particular factory. The challenge that they were facing was like, how many engineering assets are there? They would sign up a maintenance contract for 5 assets, and then they would realize like, that there are 3 more assets. The company did not know. They did not include it as part of their maintenance contract, hence losing revenue. So here is an opportunity. Using this particular tool, they could capture like all the assets. They could tag it geographically, like, where in which factory this particular asset is located, and even the maintenance history of each of these assets can is now available. And this has essentially helped this company to earn more from their existing customers itself. So this is a really useful tool which can be deployed in your with your customers in your particular industry. Moving on to the next feature, in any of our tools, the key thing is like map, and you can bring in any level of map layer information on our system. The Skedulomatic mobile application also comes equipped with this particular feature. When you click on any one of these points of interest, as we call it, you get more information. Like this is hospitals, and when I click on this hospital, I get information about like that who is the owner of this particular hospital, where is this hospital located, and what kind of services or what kind of specialization does this hospital deal in actually. And this is an extremely useful information which companies are finding it to cater to this to their business requirements. For example, we have this use case of a laptop servicing company which could identify prospective service partners. So we brought in our data collection team. They basically brought in from third-party sources this information that was available, imported this data, brought it onto the Skedulomatic system. And this particular company, when they were expanding, they noticed that like, what, we are expanding to this new city or this new pin code, and there are already these third-party laptop service company providers who are available. And this company then, they ran a campaign to essentially approach these the laptop servicing companies and empanel them as part of their network after doing a due diligence on them. And that is how this company could essentially plug the white spaces and expand their network. So again, a very important feature which you can take to your customers, and based on the business requirement, this particular feature can actually be set up. With this, I come to the end of my section. This is the email. You can write to us on this particular email in case you have any queries, or you have any kind of doubts. Feel free to reach out to us, and we can explain to you more about how how these features can actually be used in your industry for your customers. Over to you, Tarun.
Thanks, Shiv and Jaswinder, for the insights and introducing new cases and product recap. Shiv, I have a request. If you can play the new brand video, which I'm sure all of you have already seen, but it'll be good to see a movie together, right? It's a short video, I think. Let's go through it, and then we can talk about a little bit.
Okay, sure. So I'm just sharing my screen.
Sovereign Solutions is a Singapore-based mapping software product company delivering accurate real-time business intelligence that improves efficiency, productivity, and growth. We transform maps into powerhouses of information, rich with strategic insights. Our solutions can be immediately deployed without loss of time and are easily accessible on web and mobile. Gain granular insights of your distribution network, customers, and competitors in real time with Skedulomatic, our network management solution. Collect comprehensive field information effortlessly with Skedulomatic, our data collector tool. Our field force solution, Skedulomatic, provides real-time location, travel, and time information about your people working in the field, improving transparency and productivity. Keep a constant vigil on your fleet. Ensure safety of drivers and vehicles with Visualmatic, our fleet management solution. With over 20 years of expertise in intelligence systems, sovereign solutions, global reach, qualified team, and cutting-edge technology is transforming decision-making and empowering business growth.
Thanks, Shiv, for playing it out.
Thank you for playing it out.
So I see a few couple of questions on the chat. I think it'll be good to have as our standard process the email, and then we can answer those queries. Thanks everyone for joining. Hope the session was helpful. My apologies for the background noise, but I cannot control airport. But as always, please give your feedback through your managers. Looking forward to meet most of you during these trips, which Shiv and I have been doing in India. And till then, see you next week, same time. Good luck and happy sailing, everyone.